welcome to another edition of Author E. Jamie Watches, a somewhat weekly show where I react to television shows and or movies and hopefully entertain y'all. For this week, we are back in the TV show Supernatural. We are at the beginning of season 12. We are watching episode 2 today. For those of you who are new here, I've only started doing reactions for Supernatural from season 11 onward, because from seasons 1 to 10, I did not know reactions were a thing. I didn't know reactions were a thing until I started watching Game of Thrones reactions. So I figured, why not do reactions for another of my favorite shows, Supernatural. Waiting for season 6 of Outlander, and then we will do reactions to those as well. And I'm also doing reactions to Lucifer, but I got sidetracked with Supernatural. So Lucifer we have from season 1, I think, up to episode 10. So we will be getting back to that. We will be getting back to Supernatural, and we will be continuing on with, we will be getting back to Outlander, and we will be continuing on with Supernatural. Today we are watching episode 2. Now, in the last episode, Sam was held in some psycho woman's basement. Psycho woman had a Ramsay from Game of Thrones working for her, some female Ramsay who liked to torture Sam. So she and Ramsay would have gotten along great, but thankfully she's dead because Mama Winchester killed her. And oh yes, Mama Winchester is back. For real. Except she thinks that Dean is still 4 years old. She remembers nothing of dying, of being in heaven, I would assume, all these years. So she still thinks of Sam as a baby, and Dean is 4 years old, and she remembers nothing after that. So my precious Blueberry Castiel is back, thank God. He's a little PO'd, pissed off at kind of everything right now, and I like seeing angry Castiel. I look forward to seeing when he's like my precious little sad Blueberry, but I understand his annoyance and irritation right now, and I like it. Sam was awesome in the last episode. We cannot deny. He pretty much told pantsuit terrorist lady where to stick it, and basically showed her that for all her like, oh, I know you Winchesters, and I've been following you Winchesters all your lives, and like knowing like what you guys have been doing, blah 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 blah. And so she thought that bringing up his guilt over all the stuff that had happened to him and all the people that have died around him was going to break his mind. Like, this boy hasn't been torturing himself with that since Jess died on his ceiling. Like, are you kidding me? You know squat, lady. In the words of one giant moose, screw you. Now, let us get into season 12, episode 2. Before we do that, season 12, episode 1 is now available on Patreon, full unedited episode. I'm still figuring out the tiers thing, like of like different prices for what. So I haven't figured out what happens when you click the link to the post that is there on Patreon, but it is full unedited. YouTube has been a little wonky with the copyright here for my Supernatural episodes. Some of them are okay, some of them are not, even though I really try to heavily edit them so that copyright leaves me alone. Sometimes they don't. So Patreon, especially starting from season 12 onward, will be an option for full unedited reactions if YouTube is being an ass butt. But either either way, make sure that you're subscribed to me here so that you get the preview clip with the link to where you can watch it. If there's an issue, will probably be the Patreon link. And if you want to subscribe to my reaction channel, you will be able to watch a more heavily edited version there, hopefully, if YouTube lets me with the copyright. So make sure you're subscribed to my reaction channel. Link to that will be in the description, and make sure that you are following me on Patreon for the full unedited reactions. Yeah, so let's get into it. Very excited to see what's going to happen with Mama Winchester when Sam sees her, because Sam is still stuck in the basement of this crazy woman, and apparently there's someone named Ketch more crazy than her. I'm afraid for my boy, afraid for my Sam, but hopefully Dean and Cass, hopefully, and Mama Winchester, they get Sam out of there in this episode, because I really don't want this to turn into season 3 Theon getting tortured for the entire season. I don't want Sam to be Theon, especially considering we know what happens to Theon, but we won't talk about that. So here we go. Season 12, episode 2. Here we go. Oh, so that was an awesome episode. Sam reuniting with his mama. That was so sweet. Sam in the beginning, not so sweet. That was traumatizing. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. But thank God it was just a hallucination. Because my darling Moose would never. Lucifer is now in Rick Springfield. So that's pretty funny, and I'm kind of entertained by the idea that Rick Springfield is going to stick around. But now he's going to be holding Rowena prisoner, like he was holding Crowley prisoner. And I don't like it. Rowena had the chance to be happy with Betty Cooper's dad from Riverdale. But that was interesting to see him. I wonder if we're going to see him again. I don't think so. But that was nice to have that little moment. Was not expecting that. Dean and his pie, of course. Yeah, just such a good episode. Oh my goodness. So this Mick guy does not seem as psychotic as the British hussy. Yeah, because he said that, like, the Winchesters, like, they aren't, like, useless. They have done, like, good things. So, like, I don't know what the hell this British hussy's problem is. Like, they had more wins than losses. They have kept the world safe. They do the same thing that the hunters do in London. They just do it maybe a little differently. I want her to die. I want her to die. And, like, I wanted her to die for torturing my Sam and then beating up my Dean and putting that bleh hallucination in Sam's head at the beginning. Let's not do that again. Yeah, so I really hope that this Mick guy either, like, kills her, kills the British hussy, and like helps our boys. This ketchup dude, I'm scared. I'm scared because if the British hussy thinks that he's worse than she is, then I'm scared. And so Mick wants her to leave, but I don't think she's gonna leave. I don't think we're done with the British hussy. If we are, if Mick kills her, I'll be happy with that. But I don't think he's gonna. Because he seems to, he seems to not hate her. Seems to have like a good relationship with her. But yeah, I want her to die. Yeah, so I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. I think that's it. So again, make sure that you're subscribed here so that you get the little preview clip and you can be notified when the new episode goes up, either on YouTube or on Patreon where you can watch the full unedited reaction, or YouTube where you can watch the hopefully edited reaction if the copyright gods don't get me. So yeah, make sure that you're subscribed. And follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie. And I will talk to you guys next time. Sam hadn't had some in a while, so even like as a hallucination, that's not what I wanted for him. When we saw Sam with a girl again, that's not what I meant. Bye. Die, British hussy, die. Bye for real this time.